and share on all forms of social media.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to the People's Panel. I am your host, J&J Video. And how y'all doing this evening? Hopefully you're doing okay. I'm doing okay. Still worried about my lovely wife, Jen. She is still struggling with that toothache, but I know she's going to pull through. She is a trooper, man. Let me tell you, that girl's working and she's a customer service person, and she's still managing to work and do all that with a toothache. I can't stop her, y'all. I can't stop her. But hopefully everybody had a wonderful day today. Good to be alive. Good to be alive. Good to be safe. Good to be well. Shout out to everybody who might be listening. Feel free to join the panel. I'm going to go ahead and share the link in the chat. Let's see here. Hopefully, we will get a few more people in here this evening. If not, that's okay too. Hey, I've been talking to myself since I was a little kid, so I'll be all right. All right, so let's paste it in there. And there is the link. So if anyone wants to join the panel and chop it up with me, before we get started on anything, please do me a huge favor and smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not. This is a brand new thing for me, and I am trying to get to 1,000. So I'm trying to get to my first 1,000, y'all. Trying to get to my first 1,000. I'm at about 250. So we're trying to get to our first 1,000. And one of the things that helps with that I know is being consistent. So, and I've said that before, but I think I found something that I really like doing. So there should be no problem. And I've got the time now. So I will be here every day, Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. And we will go until we can't go no more. And that's how we'll roll. So again, subscribe to the channel, help me get monetized, help me get up to 1,000 subscribers. And trust me, I will make it worth your while. Maybe things like what we're going to do tonight, we can start offering monetary incentives for and rewards when you get on here and get on the panel, and we maybe do a game show or something like that on a couple of episodes. So yeah, I got big plans for it. So come on through. All right, so what I wanted to do today was I wanted to discuss, and I wish that I could let me see, where is my here we go. I wish that I could do this where I could literally put my mouse or my cursor on the screen and move these heads around. But we can't, StreamYard or Restream. Shout out to Restream. If you would like a link, I'm going to leave the link to Restream. If you are a live streamer, it's something different. You can have moving backgrounds and all kind of good stuff. Background music. I don't have the best computer, so I didn't put the background music on because I don't want to get froze up like I did yesterday. I'm working on that though. But if we can get to a point where we can get some super chat money, hey, we can upgrade the hardware. But I wish I could do something. I could share my screen and maybe try to do it through an app. So if anybody has any suggestions about that, put it in the comments down below. But in any event, we've got at least a still photo here, and we've got everybody on Married at First Sight. And I watch 90 Day Fiance and Married at First Sight. Those are my two shows. I've been trying to watch Survivor for some reason. Last summer, Jen and I binged all 40 seasons. And yeah, that was an ordeal. It was fun though. It was fun. And took us a couple months to do it, but we got through all 40 seasons. And for some reason, gang, I cannot seem to get my footing with picking back up with season 41. I watched the first show maybe 10 times and I can't get through it. I don't know if it's because I'm so hung up on the 90-day world and the Married at First Sight. Every Wednesday in our house, it's Married at First Sight. Woo! Every Sunday, it's 90 days, baby. Woo! So yeah, we get stoked about it over here. But yeah, I wanted to switch it up tonight to Married at First Sight. And I want to talk about maybe possibly, and I would love to have some participation with people in this. If not, I'll just talk about my opinions and what I think should happen about rematching these folks. And I included Chris and Alyssa in this because had they been matched with different people, who knows? They might even still be on the show, right? So it would be cool to figure out what's happening there. Is that Rap God Reloaded? Wow. Hey, RGR. How you doing, honey? Good to see you. Good to see you. And I know you're not feeling well, JJ, but thank you for being here, honey. Rap God, if you watch Married at First Sight or 90 Day, you want to chop it up, the link is right up top, my brother. You are more than welcome to come on this panel. This is the People's Panel, and it is an open forum. We trying to do like the likes of Little Black Book and the Flight Sports TVs of the world. You know what I mean? Those guys are awesome. And there's tons of people that do these panels, and I love them. I love being on them. So I figured, why not do one on my channel? So you are more than welcome to click that link and come on. But yeah, I'm talking about these Married at First Sight people. Had they been switched around, would we see some differences in what's happening? Because these relationships, and I think I might actually, maybe that'll be Monday's show. I might actually do that with Monday's show. I'm probably giving it away. If somebody else does this, you heard it here first. But maybe I'll do a thumbnail with their heads and see what we got going on, because it actually be over, I think, after this Sunday. This Sunday, I'm looking forward to it. It's the part 2 of the tell-all for 90 Day Before the 90 Days. And then, we got the new 90 Day Fiance coming up. So I'm looking forward to that. And hopefully we'll have a full panel for that. Maybe do some live watch parties when the shows come on, or at least for the tell-alls. But yeah, Married at First Sight. Well, you know what? Let's start with the very first couple that we have listed up there, which is, I've got her right over him. We got Olajuwon and we've got Katina. Now, you can say what you want. I don't know that this couple is going to last. I really don't. And if anybody has a difference of opinion, you are more than welcome to click that link and come on and talk about it. I don't think they're going to last because, quite frankly, I think Olajuwon is too much of a control freak for Katina, and she's not going to be able to handle it. It seems like the minute she spilled the tea about her ex being verbally abusive with her, Olajuwon took to suit. He went straight for the jugular and started being that person. Now, here's the thing. He was already that person, guys. He was already that person, gang. And when he heard that she allowed someone else to do that, he saw, okay, yeah, that's my cup of tea right there, because I like to bully my women, because that's what it seems like he does. Because the way that he came at Dr. Pepper this past week, yeah. And if she's not careful, she better start watching for signs of physical abuse, because a guy like that right now is starting out verbal, but it can turn physical real quick. And I'm sorry. Hey, I'm going to speak my mind. He strikes me as the type that will literally smack out of her when he gets good and hot and ready. So, you know what I mean? You don't want to go there, Katina. You don't want to go there. And if he does it, don't think that he won't do it again. I don't care how many times he apologizes. Do not stay in an abusive relationship. It could be emotional abuse. It doesn't always have to be physical abuse, it could be emotional abuse. So, who else would we match her with to avoid that happening if we had the opportunity? They need to do a show. And if you guys do a show, I want some kind of royalty for it. They need to do a rematch show. I'm going to go for Michael. I think if they had hooked Katina up with Michael, I think that would have been a slightly better match. And I'll tell you why. Michael is a little bit uh, more easygoing. And since Katina has been in an abusive relationship, she does not need somebody who is as aggressive and passionate as Olajuwon is, because that's what he is. I'm not going to call him an abuser, but he's very aggressive and very passionate in his speech patterns, and it can be taken as abusive, really. And if you watch her, he's made her cry countless times. So to me, I call it abuse. And I don't see Michael being that type of guy. You can see how he's been with Jasmina. Okay. He's allowed her to literally get her rocks off on him on more than one occasion this season. I mean, she's made me want to jump through that screen and choke the living hell out of her. But to her credit, she has softened that up. She's added some honey, guys, and you get more bees with honey. She has put the grease on it, so to speak. And he seems a lot more comfortable with her. She seems a lot more comfortable with him. But if you were to switch those two couples, I think that you would have even seen a better matchup. Put Jasmina over there with Olajuwon, because she would not, let me repeat that, she would not go for what he's doing. She would never have allowed it to get that far. See, Katina, where she messed up was she allowed Olajuwon, and Olajuwon tested her. He admitted that he was testing her to see if he could literally get away with how he's speaking to her. And if you watch closely, if you go back to the beginning of the season, he was not speaking to her like that. He was not speaking to her like that. And he was a lot more laid back, had a lot of smiles for her, had a lot of compliments for her. And of course, he didn't know her, and we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. She could be talking to him like trash. She could be he likes a housekeeper. She could be a really bad housekeeper where she's just leaving her clothes. So we don't know the extent of what is going on behind the scenes because we're not privy to that. All we know is what we see. And from what it looks like, the way it's being edited, because we know that they play that game too. I'm an editor. I know how to do that stuff. You can see where it's possible that, Elijah, there's no way that I don't have Jasmina putting up with that from Olajuwon. You could see where he changed slowly over time as he realized he was able to get away with more and more with Katina because she had already been here. She had retreated back into her shell that she was in that other relationship and stopped coming back at him. Now, the other week when he went off about the dating app, she took the mic off, to take this mic off. The real Katina's coming out, and she went back and forth, and she's kind of going back and forth. But I'm gonna tell you something. Jasmina would have cut it off at the head. She'd have been time enough for him. Look at some of these comments. I know, Rap God, it has been a while. I'm so glad you're here. And hi to Vegan Knowledge. Okay, you said I don't do panels. Gonna learn about it someday. Well, hey, listen, the best way to learn is to just dive in. It's like swimming. You just got to get in the pool. Okay. And who better? I'll take care of you. It's nothing. Look, my mother-in-law, I'm trying to get her on here too. And she told me the same thing. I don't want to come on there. I'm nervous. I'm scared. It's all good. Listen, you see my subscribership is still low. And we're gonna try to continue be consistent to build that up. But ain't nobody listening to us right now, man. I mean, if they are, great. Come on the panel. Come in the comments. But we don't have a following like that. So this is the perfect place to cut your teeth. So yeah, if you want to click the link, come on in, and I'll be able to see when you're here, and I'll pull you in, and we can go from there. So don't even worry about it. It's all good. Um, Jen said Jasmina and Steve. Okay. Jasmina and Steve. Okay. The only thing about that is the no job thing. See, Steve's got an issue with this employment status, man. He's hell bent on showing his creative side. And if he's an entrepreneur, I'm all for that. I am fortunate enough to be in a marriage where my wife allows me the freedom to be who I am, and try to build this YouTube thing out. Now, we all know, those of you who know, and Rap God, you know this, I am legally blind. So I am provided for by the government. So that covers our rent. So I don't know what Steve's doing, but I'm at least covering the roof. Okay. And she covers everything else. And it's a team. We work together. Not putting our business out there, but I'm just comparing because I am in that same situation. She is gainfully employed. I am not. But I'm a musician. Those of I play drums, and I get into editing videos. I'm an artist. I'm one of them creative people, okay? And Jen believes in me, so she's like, do that, put your all into it and really stay with that and see if that grows. And that's what I'm gonna do. So, baby, shout out to you. I appreciate you having my back with that. That's what Steve is looking for, and Noi is not the one. Noi's not the one. She's not the one that wants to support him in that endeavor. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so I'm reading through the comments. Jen said, no, that's not what I meant. Cortina and Steve. Okay. All right. Yeah. I don't know though, Jen. I don't know that Cortina would even take it either. There's you know who I tell you what, I see your Cortina and Steve, and I raise you Steve and Lindsay. I raised you Steve and Lindsay, and I'm gonna tell you why. Look at how Lindsay has been with Mark. She's a caregiver. She likes being in control. She likes taking control, taking the helm. She does not mind being the breadwinner. She's already said that. I feel like this is a game, even though we can't move the heads around on the screen. We can verbally make it a game. It's a verbal game. I think that um, I think Lindsay would be that partner for Steve. I really do. And since Steve is so creative, and Steve's not a bad looking dude. Look, when the show first started, I thought Steve looked a little on the half, to be honest with you. He looked kind of bummy. He looked rough, man. And then the fact he ain't no job, I'm like, what they do? Hook her up with a crack addict? He's skinny. I'm like, I'm like, and Noi seems a bit annoyed, okay? Because something's going on with Steve behind the scenes. Steve does not want a job. So I don't know if he has savings, but if you can provide, then you need to sit her down and show her receipts for that. Maybe she'll get off your back. So I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. But I would go with Lindsay on that. I really would. Jen said that's how guys like him are. He started putting her down. Started putting her down a little, like when she was expected, like she wasn't experienced enough, right? Yeah, talking about Elijah Wan and Cortina. Yeah, he did. Which is why I said give him Jasmina, or Here we go. Give him Lindsay. Nah, I'm gonna take that back because he and Lindsay would butt heads too much. Because they're too much alike. Lindsay is very strong, just like he is, and and Noy is strong-minded. She kind of came back at Steve this week and said, "Hey, stop telling me not to go on social media. It's my account. If I want to do that, I can do that. That's up to me. I'm a grown woman." I was like, "Whoa, okay, Noy." She did it in a nice, sweet way, but she basically checked him and said, "Hey, listen, if I want to post, I'm a post. If you don't like it, hey, it won't be the first time somebody didn't like a social media post. Okay, so." And hey, Steve, I know you don't want to air your laundry, but if she won't stop posting, then you go on your page and you post and you counteract her. But that's how it works, man. You get on your Instagram and say your piece. Like, I would appreciate it if people would learn how to keep family business in the house. Say something. Come back at her. But see, that's not who he is. So Jen said spirited. Yeah, talking about Olajuwon still. Yes, Steve. And yes, because she's one that will take care of him and will allow him to be creative. Now, if things happen where she's overwhelmed, and I don't know, Lindsay strikes me. I think Lindsay got a little bit of money. And Steve acts like he has a little bit of money. He does not seem bothered or worried in the slightest about his ability to provide and help out with the bills. So he must have some money. He might be like Gino on 90 Day Fiance. He might have some stash somewhere. He might be doing options trading or something, and have a chock full Robin Hood account or a chock full Weeble account or something that he's not telling Noy about. He might be good at trading. Who knows? That's a way to earn money, you know? Shout out to DZ. DZ taught me how to do options trading, and that's something that I now have in my back pocket. And, I don't always do it, but, at least I know how to now. Hey, you never have too many streams of income, especially with the way things are in the world today. So again, thanks DZ for teaching me how to do that, because that comes in handy sometimes. um but yeah, I would go with Steve and Lindsay, and I would switch Jasmine and Jasmina out with Cortina for Olajuwon, and give Michael Cortina, because I believe Cortina would have. Now, right now, Jasmina and Michael are getting along, but I believe from the jump now, I think Cortina would have been a little bit more patient with him. Okay, because we all know Jasmina, she was not feeling Mike. She was not giving him the time of day. She was very argumentative, very confrontational. She was gaslighting him all over the place. And he didn't take the bait. He kept it classy. And who knows? She could have been doing that to test him, just like Olajuwon tested Cortina. Okay, I see I can get away with this with you. So now I'm going to be my full self, because that's who I really am. And hopefully you can handle it. Jasmina, on the other hand, might not be as aggressive as Olajuwon, and it looks like she's fallen back into being who she was on their wedding day, which I believe is the true her. I think she put a wall up when she found out that Michael had the tendency to look at the worst in a situation, so she took that as he's negative, and ran with it for a couple of weeks and just was looking for him to be negative and aggressive with her. He's not aggressive, and what she was defining as aggressive wasn't aggressive. He was very laid back with her, maybe almost too laid back, but she realized that she could speak her mind to him. And that whole Michael, I'm speaking, and cutting him off, she realized, okay, I can do this with this guy, and him not go off on me, you know. So she chilled out and said, okay, now that I know that you're not the type to go ballistic on my ass, I can go ahead and be myself with you. I feel safe. because she is worlds apart from where she was before. Mike's pretty much the same guy, but Jasmina has definitely changed her tune and has definitely greased things up. And I tell you what, I do like Lindsay for Steve, because Steve would give her the emotional and loving support and the affection that she's looking for. Because remember, he and Noi have already consummated. And I think I honestly think he would be amused by Lindsay. And the fact that she would be so supportive, because she's very nurturing. She can cut you down, but she's also very nurturing. But it's almost too much for Mark. And I think Steve might receive that kind of nurturing better. He's looking for that. Now, with that being said, let's take a look at Noy and Mark. What if we switched out Lindsay, since we putting Lindsay with Steve? What if we put Noy with Mark? How would that work out? What would that look like? No. I think that would work in the way that, remember when Mark lost his job and he almost offended that Lindsay was ready to take care of him. He like aggressively, from what I understand, and I'm gonna spill a little tea, because I look behind the scenes on a lot of this stuff. I go on Reddit, I go on Screen Rant, I go on TV spoilers, season spoilers, and all that, and I see behind the scenes what's going on with a lot of these people. And Mark went and got a job at Chick-fil-A. Now you're not seeing that on the season, but Mark is working at Chick-fil-A, like now, like that's his current job. He could not wait. He went and got himself a job at Chick-fil-A. So I think he's a manager. So, and hey, don't knock the hustle, man. Some of those fast food managers make good money. McDonald's, those guys make good money. 40K, 50K. Yeah, it ain't nothing to sneeze at. It don't go as far as it did 20 years ago, but hey, it's still a decent income. So, and Lindsay don't care. He's bringing in money, but he could not deal with not working. It was not in him. And remember, he and Steve, of all people, literally got together on the beach and they were tossing the football around. And Mark was like, "Yeah, that couldn't be me, man. I need to get me a job. I'm going nuts. I need to get a job. I gotta let go and I gotta find something else. I can't." And Steve was kind of looking at him like, "Okay," and just kept on tossing the football. Like, go ahead and get that job. I'm not gonna do it. You know. And it's funny, they didn't have that conversation. You didn't see, at least on camera, they didn't. Like, man, what's going on with you? Why you ain't getting a job? How can you do that? She wants you to get a job. I know they probably had that conversation off camera. But, you know, so with that being said, Noi likes that. She likes a go-getter. She likes somebody who is not going to sit by and just wait for the job to come to him, because again, she struggled in her family life when she was younger. The way they put it, it's like they were poverty stricken or something. But she likes somebody who goes for the money. So she would like Mark. So I think that would be a good switch too. So we got Olajuwon and Jasmine, Olajuwon, I get those names mixed up all the time. Olajuwon and Katina switching out for Mike and Jasmina, and we got Steve and Noi switching out with Lindsay and Mark. And if anybody else is listening in or you want to join the chat, we've got the link that we have put in there, and I will paste it again. What's up, Casey and the Sunshine Band? I see you. Welcome. Big time shout out to you, my brother. And I'm gonna tell you the same thing I told Rap Guy Reloaded. You know, we don't have a whole lot of people that are coming to this stream yet. So if you guys want to cut your teeth and jump on the panel and chop it up with me about these people, if you watch this stuff, feel free. You know what I'm saying? I don't think anybody's gonna be in the chats making fun of you, or not that you're worried about that. And I certainly am not. So I'd appreciate the company. I would hold Jen to it, but she's actually on here while she's working. So, and thank you for hanging with me, my baby. I know your tooth is still bothering you. So, King C, glad to have you, honey. Talking about Married at First Sight, doing a rematch. And so far, we have come up with 2 rematches. We're talking about switching Olajuwon and Cortina for Mike and Jasmina. Now, the reason being, Cortina made the mistake of letting Olajuwon in on the fact that she was verbally abused before, and that caters to his very passionate, almost overly aggressive personality. So he realized at that point, after testing her for a couple weeks, that he was able to kind of go there with her. I don't think Jasmina would have allowed that. Okay. Look, I even made a meme where I called her Jasmina, Meana, mean. When she was all up in Mike's grill for the first couple of weeks, she was not a happy camper, and you could tell. But she has since put grease on it. So I like this version of them better. But yeah, I don't think Cortina would put Jasmine. And then it don't help that both of them are Enas at the end, right? But I don't think that Jasmina will put up with Olajuwon's bullshit. Okay. I think that she would put him in his place and would not let him get out of hand. And I think that Mike would be more patient with Cortina and wouldn't be giving her so much attitude. We switched around Steve and Noy with Lindsay and Mark because Noy does not have the patience for somebody that does not want to work. And Mark doesn't have the patience to not work. Remember when he lost his job, Lindsay was ready to take care of him. Okay. All right. I think we got somebody that has joined. All right. Who's on here with me? Is somebody on here with me? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take you off. I don't know if something's wrong with your connection, but I'm showing a black screen up here. So I'm gonna go ahead and take you off. Maybe try again. We switched out Steve and Noy with Lindsay and Mark because Lindsay is a nurturer. And remember, when Mark lost his job, Lindsay was ready to take care of him. Hello. That's what Steve is looking for. He's not looking for somebody necessarily to take care of him, but he's looking for somebody who will allow him to explore his creative side, his entrepreneurial aspirations, and be able to pull their weight and not be so nervous about that. So I think that he definitely would be a good match with Lindsay. Lindsay will nurture him, she'll allow him to be him, and he will give her that affection that she's lacking from Mark. Mark will be the kind of guy that kind of will let Noy just go do her and do what she likes to do and play with the dog and all that, because he's into animals. He's got a couple of cats. So, and he also is a go-getter. He does not like being without a job, and she wants a man like that. So I think that those two would make a better match, just like Katina and Mike versus the other way around. So with that being said, I think somebody else who would have been good with Lindsay would have been Chris. And I hate that they put Alyssa with Chris because I think that Chris might have been a little bit more time enough for Lindsay. Mark can't handle Lindsay. He does not need a woman who is quite that aggressive because he likes to be Mark the Shark. And I think Noy would appreciate that in him and let him be that. That ain't happening with Lindsay. Lindsay's the shark in that relationship. Mark is a guppy. Okay. Mark can't handle Lindsay. And I think that Noy would be able to nurture him in a way that would make him still not feel so emasculated as Lindsay makes him feel. So, yeah, I think that would be a better matchup. But I also think Lindsay and the real estate guy, Chris, would have worked too. Because she also, she called Mark the chicken finger guy. I don't think she likes the jock chicken finger guy. I don't think she likes the tool. I think she likes a little bit more of an intellectual, and that would have been Chris. Chris is low key a little bit more intellectual than Mark. And I think the funny thing is I think Mark and Chris are like really, really good friends. And Lindsay's also into fitness. And Chris does that frisbee golf thing. So he's into sports. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that he would have been so sensitive to Lindsay's advances as Mark is. So I think that Chris would have been had done a lot better if they paired him up with Lindsay. Alyssa. I don't know if anybody could have made Alyssa happy. And I'm gonna go down over there on the comments because all right, so Jen said, I tried I tried to oh, it was you? But you couldn't hear me. I'll try again later. Okay, sweetie. King C says same, like you did your due diligence. Seemed like you did your due diligence the way you paired them up. I've been watching this season, man, from the beginning. Great, but it won't work for the show. People love the drama. LOL. I get it. I get it. I get it. And hey, guess what? I am definitely with the editing background that I have, I understand. Okay. Just like Chris Rock said, I may not agree with it, but I understand. Okay. Because ratings are ratings, man. You have got to get people watching the show. And unfortunately, as much as we all like to claim we're kumbaya, we can't help watching the drama. We can't help it. It's like watching a car accident. You hate to see it, but you always slow up. Like, what do you want to see? A dead body hanging out of a car or something? Why are you so interested? Keep it moving. We love drama. So yeah, man, I agree with you there. I agree with you there. I would venture to say that they paired these couples up on purpose just to get that drama. I mean, you hear all kinds of tea, especially when you research these shows and you look at what's happening on the back end. You even have cast members of 90 Day Fiance admitting that they have been edited in a way that they didn't appreciate because it makes them look a certain way. Well, hey, you think they ain't doing that on Lifetime? TLC is not the only channel that does that. Married at First Sight's not the only show that does that, especially these reality shows. I learned a long time ago. Didn't you guys watch WrestleMania? Come on, all that stuff. A lot of that is worked out. They know how to fall. They make it look like they're getting beat up when they're really, really not. Hey, they do the same thing with this stuff. It's called reality television, not reality, period. You know what I mean? So it's entertainment. They do a lot of this stuff for entertainment value. But hey, humor me. We just doing this because I just want to see what would happen. I think they should do a show. But wait a minute, to your point, how well would it do? I don't know though. Okay, so check this out. I think if they did a show called Rematch, I think it would work. You know why? Because of the drama on the original series. Because you got to admit, it's probably people who would love to see if these couples were rematched, what would happen. And it don't have to be something that is like a full season long. I think they could basically do a spin-off where it's just basically a TV special that comes on once, they pair them up, and then hey, check back in. Where are they now? They could create a franchise where they basically just have one show. They repair, they see who everybody, they get everybody voting, do a poll, see who everybody wants to see paired up, repair them, rematch them, and then just check back in with them, like a couples cam type of thing. I'm gonna tell you something. Speaking of that, that's why couples cam didn't work. Nobody cares about the couples that worked out. Have you noticed that? That show does not get. Do they even still do it? Because they're like, okay, they're happy. I don't care about that. Nobody watches that. I did for a while, but I have to admit, I got bored with it because there was no what drama. There was no drama. So I stopped watching that. Couples cam, who cares? You guys worked out. There's no drama there. Now, if somebody had a baby or if somebody got divorced, I'm lining up. I want to see that. Somebody had a baby that you didn't expect to have a baby, or, and what they do is the way they do it now is they bring them in on the tell-alls to give their opinion. That's how they're still together, they're still doing well. But yeah, people would rather see something going on bad in their marriages. So who else we got here? I think we just did it. I think we just paired everybody else up. I think that's the ones that would in my opinion that would work. You know? That's the ones in my opinion that would work. So we got Olajuwon and Jasmina, Cortina and Mike, Steve and Lindsay, Noy and Mark. And then with Alyssa though, I don't know. Because she was very picky. She was extremely picky. And I don't think anybody on this show would have fit her standards, quite frankly. And I don't know that she's into chocolate, so I'm not going to pair her up with Mike or Olajuwon. I don't think that Steve not having a job would be something that she would put up with as well. And Marcus is basically again too much of a tool. He's too much of he's not a thinker, and I think she wants somebody like that. I don't know. Steve might work for her, but him with this no job thing. You know, yeah, I don't know any woman that's gonna put up with that other than Lindsay right about now. You know, on this show. So we got King C saying rematch, right? Just even if it's for one show, just to see what would happen, and then just where are they now? And then Vegan Knowledge JJ saying, remember love, remember love connection, right? Love connection when they could say, okay, do you want to try again? I gotta enlarge it on my phone, so that's why I'm reading it so choppy. Do you want to try it again, right? And let the audience decide on on one of the other two choices. I remember that. That was cool. That was really cool that they even did that. So they would. You guys remember Love Connection? Rap God King C. Yeah, they would go on there and date somebody, and they had three choices, and they had to pick who they wanted to go out with, and then they see who the audience picked for them. And if the audience picked who they picked, hey, it's a match. If they decided that they liked them and they want to continue dating them, they bring the person out and they're a happy couple sitting there on the couch. But if they did not like the person, then then Chuck Woolery would give them the opportunity to go with somebody else. And if the audience had picked somebody else originally, then he would say, well, the audience thought you should have picked this person. Do you want to go out with them? So, but you know what? I don't think they ever came back with whatever happened on those dates. That would have been a cool little addition to that. Take it even further. And nowadays, with the way they have, because seasons are a lot shorter than they used to be. Now you got 2 seasons in a year. It used to just be one. Remember that, guys? It used to run from the fall season would run from September up through like April or May and go into like lead into the summertime. And then you would have reruns in the summer. Well, they don't do that no more. They do a fall season and then they do a spring season, or a spring season and a summer season. I don't know how they do it, but they seem like they go from September now to like December, and then they pick back up in February and go through to like April or May. And then you don't see the new season starts back up in September. So that's what they do now. They got like 2 seasons in a year, which is cool. That's pretty cool. It makes the season shorter because I guess people get bored, you know what I mean? And they want to switch it up. So, but yeah, that would have been something cool to see what happened on those second dates. Yeah, so Alyssa, she's out in the cold. I don't think we got anybody for her. I think, quite frankly, I think Chris would have paired up with any of those women and done okay. But I don't see Alyssa pairing up with any of those guys. So yeah, she's ass out, which is where she needs to be. She literally, let's talk about that for a moment. She literally was a basket case. Something was wrong with that woman. The way she treated Chris from the jump on hearsay. I mean, come on. You're going to go talk to the man, okay? You're going to go talk to the man's family and find out that, yeah, he can be condescending at times. Is he condescending to you now in this moment? No, he's not. You can't judge him on what somebody else has received from him because you weren't there to see that. So that person could have very well been lying to you, and you could have thrown away a perfectly good relationship based off of hearsay. And you're judging the guy and you don't even know him. It's so funny. She's like, you always this and you don't know him long enough to say he always does anything. You never spend more than 5 minutes with him. So Alyssa was really bad. And I'm so sorry. I got so tied up with doing a couple of other things earlier because I wanted to get some clips ready for y'all and have them. But this little thumbnail I got here, that took a little bit of time. That took a little bit of time. And by the time I got finished doing some of the chores that I had doing around the house, I was like, I just had time to throw this together. But yeah, I like to come correct. I like to have some video clips for y'all and stuff like that. So we'll do that on Monday's show. And I'm going to be doing this Monday through Friday, 6. I didn't call it the Remix at 6. I like the People's Panel because that's what I want it to be. I want it to grow into that. So, and trust me, it's going to be fun. That's going to be fun to have people on here chopping it up about these shows, man. That is going to be really fun. I can't wait for that to happen. King C, you really don't think Olajuwon won't work for Jasmine? I think, how can I put this? I think that Olajuwon is extremely passionate. I said to Jen, the brother might be on steroids, okay? The way he gets so aggressive with his speech. With the way he delivers his messages is extremely aggressive. Look how aggressive he got with Dr. Pepper. I don't think that he's good for Jasmine. I really don't. And you could argue the fact that maybe he might push her, to be a better person because maybe she's still a party girl. Maybe she's a terrible housekeeper. He might make her grow up a little bit, and be the she's got beauty on the outside, but maybe because I saw some sides of her that I didn't like. And him being the way he is broke her down. I don't know if you watched the show, man, but remember back in the early part of the season when Lindsay was sitting there and they were all having a conversation on the boat, and Cortina took it upon herself to infiltrate the conversation and come at Lindsay just out of the blue. She don't do stuff like that anymore. And I think it's because Olajuwon has broken her down to wait a minute. You're just think like everybody else. What's happening? Calm it down. You know what I mean? And maybe that broke her down a little bit, and she's not coming at Lindsay like that anymore. And because I'm telling you, that Cortina would not have stood for Lindsay calling her out her name on the dinner show, on the dinner date. Remember when she called her a B? She was like, because this bitch is a ride or die for you. I don't know that the other Cortina would have taken kindly to her calling her that. She wouldn't have taken that in stride like this Cortina did. And I think that's because Olajuwon has kind of humbled her a little bit and put her mouth in check. Because I think her mouth can get out of hand. I think she's one of those. But we saw glimpses of that Cortina the other week when he went off about the dating app. Take this mic off of me because y'all about to see the real Cortina, which there we go back with the editing again. Who's the real Cortina? Okay, let's see her, because I'm telling you, sometimes I'm ready to jump through that screen the way he talks to her, and I'm like, come on back at him. What is wrong with you? Don't sit there and let him yell at you like that. You ain't got to go head to head to head, because again, we don't want it to turn violent like he seems like he could get if pushed. So yeah, you don't want to provoke him, but you also don't want to sit there and take crap either. And if you can't voice your opinion, just like he's voicing his, then no, you don't belong in that relationship. You need to be with a partner who will allow you to be yourself fully, just like you're allowing them to be themselves. So to answer your question, I went on a rant a little bit, but no, I don't think they would work. I don't think they're going to work ultimately. I think he's going to push her a little too far, and she's not going to be in a good place because of that. I think his intentions may be good, but I honestly don't think that the way he approaches it is good for her because she's been in an abusive relationship before. And the way he talks to her could be construed as abusive. I mean, it really can. King C said, "Yep, I agree." Alyssa's Alyssa's elevator. Don't go. Yeah, something's wrong with her, man. Something is wrong with her. The way she was addressing Chris and shutting him down every time he tried to speak. I mean, I really do think something was wrong. Her elevator definitely does not go all the way to the top floor, and her mama knows it. And she was kind of hoping that Chris could hang in there and deal. Chris was like, I'm out. This is my decision day. I want out. I want a divorce. Because she was literally, what killed me was the scene where she said, look how aggressive he's being with his hand movements. The guy was simply talking to somebody and just doing an average hand gesture. What was aggressive about that? And then for her to say, I hate him. I hate him. You don't know this man. You've known him all of what, 2 weeks? And you could see Chris, they were sitting on the beach. He was like, hey, listen, I really like you. And I don't think I'm putting my all into it like I can. So maybe some of this is my fault. And she seemed like she was okay. And I thought, King C, I thought maybe when they were on the paddleboard date that she might be coming around a little bit. But I was wrong. You know, she went right back to being the same Alyssa. And again, here's my thing. Back on the editing tip, they may have hired her to do that. They may have literally hired her to play that part. That couple brought so many ratings to that show, and everybody kept tuning in each week to see what kind of craziness Alyssa was going to put Chris through this week, and would Chris continue to take it. And everybody kept tuning in to see, is he finally going to stand up to her? Is he finally going to say, to hell with this, I don't want to do it anymore? And everybody got what they wanted. And so now that that's over with, that notice now, when that kind of happened and they left, Olajuwon kind of stepped up his drama a little bit. These shows are edited, man. These producers know what they're doing. They're editing this stuff so that people watch, and they're doing it in a way that it looks like, you know, because Katina almost put the tea out there. Y'all about to see the real Katina. She's sitting there playing the part of the emotionally abused wife right now. But that's not who she really is. That's not who she really is. Off the camera, I think she goes toe to toe with him. Off the camera, Cortina is going toe to toe with Olajuwon when he gets like that. Bet money. She's not sitting there taking it and crying and all of that. She ain't doing that. She's getting in his grill. And you saw glimpses of that when he approached her about the dating app. There was a time there where she got elevated and she reeled it in. She pulled herself back. So yeah, I think the producers say, hey, shh, calm it down, because we're trying to portray him as this guy who's being overly aggressive. And if you come back at him, it's gonna demean that mission. You know, we don't want you to come back like that. We want it to look like he's got the upper hand on you. So yeah, they do stuff like that. All right, it is 7:01, guys. We'd have put an hour in today. And I'm gonna go ahead and call it a day and get ready for Monday's show. I think what I might do is do this same thing with the 90 Day Fiance cast. And then I'm probably gonna maybe drop a video, an edited video or two on the tell-all based on what happens with that. So I'm looking forward to the tell-all. Hey, King C, before I go, what you think about the Will Smith thing, man? Because I love our conversations. What you think about all of that? Do you think? I think Chris Rock handled that very, very well. I really do. I think Chris Rock handled that very well, because if you look at it, and I put good God, man, that thing flew up to 1,000 views. See, I'm getting the views, man. I'm just not getting the subscribers. Y'all can send some people over here to subscribe. I'm like, remember the Jello video I did? Rap God, I don't know if you saw that one, the one where I put all the stuff out, like it was like basically just a Jello fest. That has 11,000 views, man. Why am I still sitting at 250 subscribers? I almost feel like I'm stuck in some kind of weird algorithm. You know, I'm getting viewership. I've got over 40,000 views on my channel, and I'm still sitting at 250 subscribers. Something ain't right. So, I mean, if 1/10 of them subscribe, that I'm at $3,000. You feel me? So, hey, I don't know what's going on, but we need to get some subscribers on here so we can really get this thing lighten up. But what do you think about the Will Smith and Chris Rock scenario? I honestly, you want to know what I think? I think that it was. Some people say it was staged. I think it's possible that it was staged because who's also got a talk show on YouTube? Red Table belongs to Jada Pinkett. You think people ain't tuning in to see Will Smith come talk about that smack? She's going to get a lot of mileage out of that stunt that he pulled. He said, "Man, I think so too. That really looked scripted because there is no way in hell." You talking about Alyssa? Right. Okay. That was a little weird. And he said, "I agree. Chris really handled that." Yeah, I think if you look at it, but what I was actually saying, me and my ADHD, that little short that I put up where with him, and I edited it, got 1,000 views already, like within a couple of days. So that is a big buzz that's going on. I think if you look at it real close, go back and look at some of the longer clips of the whole thing, Chris Rock's hands came out and he stepped forward. Because in a way, and if you look at my snippet of it, he almost looked like he leaned in for the smack because I slowed it down right before he smacks him, and then I sped it up when he smacked him. When it slows down, look at Chris Rock. When we're done, go to my short and look at that short. Chris Rock literally leans in like he's waiting for Will Smith to smack him. And then Will Smith smacks him, but you know, on the regular videos that's not edited that way, you see Chris Rock's. I don't know if it was instinctive or just reactive. His arms come out like he was ready to go, hey, hey, like hit him back, But he took and put it. I forgot y'all can't see me. He took and put his hands right behind his back, almost like he was restraining himself. So, because I don't think Chris Rock's no punk. It ain't about being a punk, but and if anything, the punk move was to go up there and smack him because that's violence. And Will Smith, put an apology on Instagram and all that good stuff. But the damage is done, man. As Eckhart Tolle would say, you let your pain body take over there, and that wasn't you. Okay, that was everybody that has ever said anything mean about your wife. That was everybody that has ever said anything mean to you. That was you being pissed off that she liked Tupac better than you. All that stuff came out in that smack. And come on, man, what a smack? Why you ain't punch him? Come on now. You're a dude. That was something I would expect a lady to do. He went up there and smacked him. Why you ain't, roll that fist up and cold cock his ass if you was going to do it? That wasn't even nothing enough to knock him down. It barely took him off his feet. He just kind of backed up like, whoa, okay. That even really do. If you're going to do something, do something. And I don't know that Chris Rock would have allowed him to get away with that one. And furthermore, I heard they were trying to take him out of there, and Chris Rock was like, yeah, don't remove him. And Will Smith refused to go. You don't run nothing here. You have no business smacking this guy. They should have hauled his ass right out of there and not let him get his award. They should have had Chris Rock accept the reward. Accept the award. King C says, first I thought it was staged. Wait a minute, now I lost my place. First I thought it was staged, but now that I see Will just got a 10-year. Oh. Wow, he got a 10-year ball. Man, I'm behind the eight ball on that. What? He leaned in because he was expecting Will to say something. Right. He was expecting Will to say something in his ear. Right. Like, be careful. Exactly. Chris, we already had to say. I agree. I agree. I like that. I think that could have been the case. Vegan knowledge says unless he thought that he was going to tell him something, tell him, okay, yeah, that's what King C was just saying. No, the slap in the street. The slap was worse than the punch because the slap means you're wow. What are you voice texting? Because I think that's, you probably said slap on the cheek. So who's the biatch? Chris or Will? Is Will the biatch for slapping him, or is Chris the biatch because he didn't deserve a punch? It would be like hitting a woman. Is that what you're saying? Because that was, what kind of example are you setting for your son, and your daughter? But at this point, they can make their own decisions about their father. They're big enough, because Jaden's out there putting rumors out that he's, Tyler the rapper's boyfriend and all of that. I mean, that family loves drama. That is the black royalty of Hollywood. And they definitely aren't at a shortage for, it's like the black Kardashians. They definitely are not at a shortage for drama in that family. Every other year is something. One year it was, last year we had these discussions with DZ. Last year it was Jada coming out about the relationship that she had with August. And then one year was Willow was fluid with her sexuality. Another year it was Jaden's wearing a skirt, and Tyler the hero, or Tyler the rapper, is his boyfriend, and the gay rumors, and then it was Will Smith jumping out of an airplane one year and writing a book, his memoirs, and hey, I'm reborn. And now this year it's him. They do something every year. This year it's him slapping Chris Rock. They do something every year. You can expect to see something from the Smith family, and it keeps them in the headlines. It keeps them relevant. Oh, okay. A slap means I'm hitting a biatch. Okay, all right. So Will was basically insulting him twice, not only with the slap, but what the slap represented as well. Hmm. I wish I could get you on the panel. I'm curious to hear what your voice sounds like. Remember Rev had who was on DZ's show? Queen Royalty. We all freaked out because we had never heard Queen Royalty's voice before. I'm back here. Oh, okay. Well, that's all the more reason to come on. Voice of some like DJs. Shout out to DJ. He and I are all good, by the way. I haven't been in his chat, but just behind the scenes, FYI, he and I are cool. Um, that whole thing that went down with the whole new media thing, that just, and now I can just kind of talk about it without any feelings about it because I'm so far removed from it. But that just was really, really interesting what happened there. You know what I mean? Um, but it doesn't even need to be addressed at this point. It's old news. But DJ and I weren't really on good terms for a minute when I was with over there with Rev and them. But we are now. We're good. We're good. So yeah, DJ's a cool dude, and I will never ever not have gratitude for him because he was one of the first people to let me come on his channel and voice my opinion about LaMelo and everything. So I really appreciate him for that. And he's a cool dude. He sends me, I get the notifications when he's doing his stream. He changed it to Raw Truth Media. So I'm like, hey, I know that's right. You're in the Bahamas, enjoy. I'm jelly. I am jelly. Jen and I are talking about moving. I'm thinking about moving to Hawaii. I really am. I'm like, you know what? I can still get my check there. I mean, I'm not trying to get with the tsunamis, but how often do they really occur? Probably not as frequently as earthquakes do in California, which is keeping me out of California. But hey, where I'm at, things are happening that aren't supposed to be happening from time to time as well, too. You know. You're not supposed to really be having tornadoes on the East Coast. But I live at the beach, so I'm not hurting for scenery either, my brother. So I'm glad you are there enjoying yourself, and you continue to enjoy yourself. You know. I'm going to go ahead off of here now, guys, and probably grab something to eat. Thank you guys for coming on and chit-chatting with me. Maybe I can get you on the panel one day and we can chop it up verbally that way as well, But hey, make no mistake, I'm happy to have you in the chat. No pressure. It is, he said, it is goddamn awesome being shown so much respect. Hey, that's how I roll, man. That's how I roll. And you have also shown me respect, and I appreciate that. And thank you for always commenting on my videos and just staying in the loop with me and always being the first one. You are a day one and you are a ride or die. I see that no matter what I've gone through, you have always shown up in my chat and commented on my videos. And I appreciate you, King C. I really do. I really, really do. You and Rap Guy Reloaded. I really do. And Vegan Knowledge is my baby. She gonna be there. She gonna light my chat up regardless. You know what I'm saying? She lights my life up. So, but I really appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so much. And Rap Guy Reloaded, if you're still on here, same to you. So you guys have a good night, and I will be on here Monday at 6 with another People's Panel. And I'm out.